communication, or you want to know what's going on with your student. How many of you had a student that was using Google Classroom last year? Okay. How often did they show you their grades in Google Classroom? 0, right? Okay. 1, parents don't have access to Google Classroom unless they're logging in as the student. Okay. With Canvas tonight, and if anyone else needs additional training and support, you're able to have your own login for Canvas where you can see what they're not telling you they're not doing, what they did do, how they're doing, and contacting the teachers. So as you can see here, these are just some screenshots from my class, which I'll talk to you about in just a minute. But these are from a test student. They're not from a real student. But you can see I have my class broken down into groups, and most classes you'll see will do that, where you can see how your student's doing on homework. You can see how your student's doing on quizzes. You can see how your student is doing on a portfolio, all broken down for you to see their performance in different areas. Over here you can see, as a parent and a student, you're going to see where we have a to-do list, things that need to be done. They haven't been turned in yet. That populates as soon as the teacher assigns it and stays over on the right hand of their Canvas login every time they see it. And then you can see here in their assignments down here, they're going to get notifications if things are missing, or if they've turned it in late, or if the teacher has updated anything for them. Another couple shots here. They'll have a calendar that they can sync with their phone if they'd like. They have modules, is up here in the top right, where those modules are kind of like units, and the student will work through each module getting to the next. This is where you could put in mastery, where they would have to master each module before moving on to the next. But this is how they can segregate all of their information pertaining to, the Civil War or World War II, or however the teacher has broken up those content chunks, and you can see all of the content in that unit. And finally, this is just a shot from the dashboard and what the student might see when they log in to see the dashboard of their classes. So, things for parents. These are things that you get with your account. You get notifications, which we'll talk about. You'll get to set those however you like. You'll get to see all of your student or students' courses. You'll get to view prompts, but not participate in discussions. So you may have some talking points at the dinner table to be like, hey, how did the Mesozoic era really start? Everyone starts thinking like that, I'm sure. Okay. You can view all of the assignments that their teachers have submitted. So if you get the typical response when they get home that they didn't do anything at school today, you can say, well, here, I printed all your assignments out. They're waiting for you in your room. You can preview and download some files that the teacher may have added. You can view the course path or map the modules, what they've learned before, what they're going to learn, as long as the teacher has provided that content. You can view the grades, you can view the class calendar, and you can communicate with the teacher. So a lot of features here that are very beneficial to a parent who's trying to really understand what's going on during the school day and what they might be missing. So let's talk about creating a parent account and linking students. So as a teacher, I'll show you that side first, and then we'll kind of get into the parent side. So this is the screen that you're going to come to, whether you're a student, a teacher, or a parent. Okay? And we're going to get to where you create your account up here in the top right in just a minute. But I'll show you some stuff from the teacher side just so you can kind of see what the students are getting. Okay, so this is my dashboard. So this is what the students would see, a similar dashboard for them. You can see that I have things to do where I need to grade things that have been turned in. I have things that are upcoming, and these are my tiles or my classes that I teach here. If I go into my class, and then again, this is exactly what the students will see. You can see that there is a graphic of some sort. a class description, my objectives, and some buttons at the bottom that students can click on to get more information. All of my students access their information through modules, and you can see I have all of my modules built in here. Okay, this is my Intro to 3D Graphics class. So you can see that in the first week we worked through the syllabus assignment, we worked through a discussion on introducing yourself, goals, and then we watched a video on the Beginner's Guide to Learning 3D Computer Graphics. So you'll know exactly what your student has done in the past week or maybe the past month, depending on how the modules are set up in your student's class, and are able to look at all of that stuff too. So let's take a look at it from the parent's perspective. So hopefully you either have asked your student for their pairing code, or you are able to log in as them. Okay, that's what we're going to need tonight. So I'm going to log out. And I have got my 2 volunteer students' pairing codes that I wrote down earlier today. I hope they still work because the codes do expire after some time. I think it's 24 hours or something. So I'm gonna do it just with you guys here. So when you get to this page, which is usd458.instructure.com, you can also access this website from our website on usd458.org. Okay, you haven't probably selected what school you're going to yet. Did it say select a school? Okay. The app might look a little bit different. iPad, okay. I'll switch to iPad in just a second here, so you guys can see that too. So if I go to schools here, I'm going to go to either middle school or high school. The Canvas link is here. Yes? So I'll show you. I'll show you exactly where they are. Yeah. So either one here. So when your student is in, it's the same as a teacher. I'll show you what my code is. It's the exact same for a student. So when the student logs in, if they click on their picture and they click on settings, right down here it says pair with observer. So if I click that, boom, all of you guys can watch me do things. Okay, that's my pairing code. So once your student logs in, they'll click on their picture, settings, to the right, view pairing code. Or pair with observer, I'm sorry, pair with observer. Yes, I do know that got sent out. We can send that back out again. Yes. Yes. As the best suggestion I could give you is that when they're all at home, have them do that and give them to you, and then once we've created the account, you can just add. So you will need to get one from each of them, yes. Okay?
And all of this is listed in the email you sent before?
Correct. All right, so here's my pairing code. When my student has logged in, I've gone to the picture, settings, over to the right, I've clicked on pair with observer and I've given the code, and you can even see that I've clicked it again, it's a different code. All right, this code right here, if I don't click it again, is good for 24 hours. But because I keep clicking it, it's changing it, okay? I think this thing keeps falling on me. Okay, so I've gone through the step of getting my student's pairing code. And I'm going to click here, parent sign up, okay? So you put in your name, and I will switch to iPad in just a second here. Okay, so I've just put my email in, my personal email here. I'm going to set up my password. And then down here is where I'm going to put one of those pairing codes that I got from one of my students here. Okay, so boom. I'm looking at my student here, okay? And if the Sadrikula family is here, I appreciate your students letting me use their stuff. So here I am. I'm in here, and I can see all of the one students that I've added. When I'd like to add another student, it's kind of the same process as getting the pairing code. So if I go down to settings, after I've clicked on my picture here.
You only have to get the pairing code once?
Yes. Yep, you only need the pairing code once. And right here I have observing, and you can see I can see my one student is being observed, and this is where I can add in all my other students' pairing codes. So I'm going to add in my other student here. Parent side, correct. Okay, so now you can see I've got two students here. So these are both my students now that I'm watching, and I'm going to get information and can view information on both of their classwork.
Just going back 1 second.
Sure.
When you touch on their face and you go to get their parent code,
Yes.
do you have to put in their Apple ID?
No. You do not. That might be something from your iPad.
That's what it's asking for.
We can. This definitely won't take the whole hour, so I can have some time at the end and go around and try and troubleshoot it with as many people as possible. So once you've gotten your student in there, then your dashboard is going to look a little bit different. So, as you can see here, I have all of these classes that my students are in, okay, for both students. And one of the questions that you're going to ask about is that, well, which student goes in which class? And I will tell you that there's no differentiation at this point right now. But I'll tell you the easy way to find out. So over here to the right, you'll just look at view grades. So if I click on view grades here for my two students, then I can see it says here Quinn, and it shows what I've got for him, and it shows Gage here for this one here, in each of their classes. Now if I have an issue with one of those classes, I can immediately go over here and I can click in it, and it'll talk to me about what's going on in that class. So if I click home, it's going to show me what the advisory is. And this is just like I'm him in this class. I'm viewing everything that's going on. This is an advisory class, so there are no assignments to click on. That would be.
One of the teachers mentioned that they may be able to upload previous assignments so you can see what they did wrong on a particular task. Can they upload it in this?
Absolutely. So you'll be able to see all of the students. I'm not going to pull something up from these students just for privacy, but yes, so if a student, let's say, submits an English paper, and the teacher is able to freely annotate over that to correct things, to show all of the marks, all of the comments, you'll be able to see all that too.
And that'll be in this section here?
Absolutely. Yeah. So in this section here, you would see all of the assignments that have been put in, and you're like, oh, you really did really excellent on that English paper. It would say English 1 paper. You click on it, you can see the preview of the paper they submitted, whether it was handwritten or turned in electronically. Okay. So once you've done that, you've got your students in, the main issue that you're going to have that you want to control is notifications. So on your account here, once you click on your picture and you go down here to notifications, this is going to be something that's completely up to you. So you can link your phone under your profile if you'd like to get text messages. But most of the time you'll just get an email, or you might get a notification from the Canvas app if you're using it on an iPad or a tablet. So these are completely up to you. And I can't give you any guidance on what you prefer to have your phone or your tablet buzzing all the time for. So, but I can walk you through it. So, course activities, if there's a due date coming up, or a teacher has changed a due date, I believe that there's only a due date coming up, is that you're going to send a weekly summary of when that happens, when I get an email from that. So it goes, notify me right away with the check mark, send me a daily summary of those things, send me a weekly summary, and then don't send me anything. So any of these are completely up to you. So you can get very detailed here about due dates, grading policies, when a teacher uploads a file, an announcement, them getting an invitation, discussion posts, if a student enrolls in a group within class, and if they're ready to record for conferences, which we aren't using right now. So any of these things, I would say most of everything below course activities, you could probably definitely keep off. Maybe calendar, but most of those things aren't going to pertain to you. I would assume students are looking at the due date, if something's missing, course activity type activities in there. Say again.
I said those last week, and I didn't see anything of those live already.
They should be, yeah. They should be live. It could be possible that your teacher and the due date something should be coming in with that due date or course content being added. But it is possible that your teacher has everything set up already and it hasn't added anything just yet. Hopefully they do have stuff in there.
If a student contacts a teacher in this app, you see a notation that the student has contacted a teacher for advice or assistance or whatever, so you kind of see if they're interacting with their teacher.
I don't believe so, but everything that's through Canvas is completely secured. It's never like a personal message to the teacher. So there is never like a solo communication there. It's sent through our Gmail and everything, and there's no privacy to it. It's completely public, I should say, because it's to be safe. So, yeah.
Is this going to be different with Skyward? I mean, where it relies on the teacher to input things? Because last year we ran into situations where things weren't uploaded into Skyward,
Mm-hmm.
or we're not grades that big.
Mm-hmm. It will be reliant on the teacher to put grades in, yes. So right now you guys will be using Canvas here for grades. What should be happening with Canvas is that the teachers will, as far as I am from the building, should be upgrading grades weekly. And that is an expectation at both buildings here, is that they should be updating weekly. And if you don't see assignments in there or you're not seeing grades being posted, I would definitely be contacting that building's administrator or your teacher. But Skyward will no longer work for grades anymore for you guys. So this is going to be where you will check your students' grades. You will still get email information from Skyward, and we'll still do forms and attendance on Skyward, but this will be what we use for grades. Yes? Overall GPA and class rank can be found in Skyward from the teacher's side, I believe. Not from the parent side. That, I will be honest, I don't know. I don't know where it'll be. I know that is important and that is something that should be shown. And I've talked with several parents and teachers about it being, when I go to my students' grades over here, it being an option of it showing that to the right somewhere here to see my students' class ranking and grade. Okay. In the back, yeah.
So I can go into my child's class and then go to grades,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm seeing missing in red
Yep.
under several assignments. And if I drop it down to refresh the screen, then grades pop in.
Okay.
And the missing goes away. What is that?
what type of tablet are you using?
It's an iPhone.
Oh, it's an iPhone. Okay. Yes. So there's a known issue on the mobile system that shows that something is missing, but it's actually not. And there, as of last night, there was a grading issue last night with Canvas, and they are working on that to be resolved.
Will we get notification when it's resolved?
I don't believe so because there is a grade in there already. So your student when you click on it, it should show the grade of whatever out of whatever. Yeah, why it shows missing, I don't know, but it is not missing. So it's a glitch going on right now. So I know that they are working on it. Yes?
I noticed that you had the percentage breakout of assignments.
Which is if your teacher is weighting grades.
Yes.
Yeah,
Can the parents see that?
absolutely.
Where do I see? Are all the teachers?
Not all the teachers are weighting grades. It depends on the teacher. But if I go to view grades here, yeah. So let's say here, English. So here you can see the assignment. Here's the group. I don't know why I wonder if it's because of the projector. Here we go. Okay, so the weight in here that their assignments is 25% of their grade. It's right here to see what is weighted, and then you can go. Well, you can see what they've scored. Their average here. You can adjust. You can see how they scored on a graph here. Their mean, median, low. But there aren't very many assignments for this. So let me find another one that has a few more with a weight. Well, here, we can open my class. Here you go. So you can see how the grades are weighted, okay, and what their grades were on each of these assignments.
All teachers should be doing that, that's my point.
Yeah. I apologize. Yeah.
Is it map testing and that kind of scores going to end up in there also?
If the teacher chooses to put the map scores in there, yes. In the back.
They've used it for about a week now, and both my children, one's in high school, one's in junior high, said they submitted an assignment and it doesn't go through, and it comes back and tells them to do it again. So they've got to do assignments three different times, over and over.
Was it more of the middle school student or the high school student?
Middle school.
Yeah, we've really been working hard on the middle school side because of issues with teachers having a PDF as their assignment, and we've narrowed it down that the PDF is the issue, where they're trying to access something on a PDF, and we've figured out that that's the issue. So hopefully by next week everything should be straightened out.
Will the students get the points back that were adopted for the assignments even late?
Absolutely, they should. They absolutely should be. Yes, should be. Yes.
Would they be saving in a different format, like a docx or something else, or is it something where it's going to be fixed?
Maybe I won't show you the. This is typical, and this is obviously me. Does it? Okay. I am almost positive that the password is correct because I just made it.
I had the same problem going from.
Did you?
To the website.
Did you?
Website, it said my password was wrong.
Select the other Basehor-Linwood.
Select the other Basehor-Linwood?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think USD 458 could work with that.
Okay.
So that might also work.
I changed my password after I logged in on my computer or my iPhone, and then it worked.
Okay. Yeah. I'll try this one more time and then I'll just, I guess, explain it.
I'm actually signing in as campus student instead of campus parent, and I'm able to see it that way.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Right or wrong.
So yes, so I do apologize, and I appreciate you guys. I know that it can be very frustrating, coming from as a teacher, working with trying to learn something brand new, and then having to teach your students brand new. How many of you guys are middle school parents? Okay, that's what I would assume that. I was going to assume that, but I didn't want to make assumptions. But yes, and it's going to take some flaws. It's going to take some kinks. It's going to take some communication with the parents. I work with your students' teachers every week, if not sometimes every day, multiple times a day, working all of these things out. So we're trying to make it as smooth as possible for your students and for the teachers, and ultimately for you. Because the goal is that we want this to be a fluid process that isn't hindering what your students are learning. This should be something that's supposed to increase what your students are learning and help them learn better. So just know that you please feel free to contact your teacher. You can email me. I can put my email address up here, and you can email your building principal if you're having an issue, because we want this to be a success and something easy for you guys to use. Okay, so you guys can definitely email me, and I will either let you know who you should talk to or try and help you directly with what I can do myself, with any concerns or issues that you might be having, or roadblocks you're coming into. I do know that Canvas support, has anybody contacted Canvas support? Yeah, okay, and I apologize for that. I apologize. And in that instance, I do apologize. They have been pretty quick to come and help me with something either on the chat or on the phone line, as long as it's not a very detailed, very technical question. Yes, ma'am.
Is that an email or a phone number or Canvas support?
Oh, Canvas support. Yeah, I can pull that up. When you log into Canvas, okay, I'm still here under my parent account here, and you click on Help down here at the bottom. You have several things here. Self-service is something that we run that will show a bunch of stuff that we have put on there. You can, if you think that Canvas should have something that it doesn't, you can submit something there, report a problem, or you can look at the guides for finding what your issue might be. Anybody else? I hope that this was helpful, that you guys kind of got some information about it, so maybe feel a little better about it. I do know that some of you are still having issues. If you want to stay, we can try and work through those together. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys being here, and thank you for coming. And we're out early. I do realize that